Hi, I'm Patrick Vivalo of Vivalo Cigars. I'm here today to tell you about my inaugural brand, the Vivalo Serie Exclusivo. It's 100% Nicaraguan tobacco. The wrapper is a Jalapa Colorado shade. Filler and binder is a blend of Esteli and Jalapa Ligero. What I did differently, which is not really, doing it outside the box, but when I created the 5 sizes, I adjusted the ratio of the filler to the exact size and ring gauge to how I think each size should taste. So for example, the Lonsdale, Robusto, Bellicoso, Robusto Grande, and the Gordo all have the same exact filler, is that I adjusted the ratio based upon the size. So
the blend is a little tweaked for each size.
Right,
yeah.
So it wouldn't not one size would be overpowering. So on the Lonsdale, I did a higher percentage of Jalapa Ligero, same thing with the Robusto and the Bellicoso. And when you get to the bigger sizes, what I find most times is the bigger you go, you lose a lot of that power and flavor because you're smoking because of the ring gauge, the airflow of the cigar. So with the Robusto Grande and the Gordo, I went higher Esteli Ligero. So when you light up a Grande or a Gordo, you're going to get a big, beefy, spicy, peppery flavor. Whereas the thinner ring gauges is more elegant, more of the Jalapa sweetness, coffee, earthy notes.
And I think that makes sense for what people are expecting from when they're lighting up the large ones. They kind of are wanting to get a big old hit of some power.
And I'm by no means a big ring gauge smoker. People were asking me for at least a 6x60, and I told myself if I'm going to make a 6x60, I want to make sure that I'm able to enjoy it, that it has the flavor that I'm looking for, that has the same amount of complexity and flavor with the smaller ring gauges, where a lot of cigars that I've smoked that are that big ring gauge, they start off decent flavor, then by the time you get halfway through, there's hardly any flavor there anymore.
Yeah. So what are we looking at in terms of MSRP for these?
MSRP is $7.95 to $9.95. This is strictly a brick and mortar cigar.
Brick and mortar only.
I'm not looking to make 1 million cigars. I'm not looking to open 1,000 accounts with this cigar. I'm looking to work with retailers that share the same passion and dedication to the cigar business as I've put in for the past nearly 18 years in this business. Started off in the retail side. Many of you might know that I worked for Rocky for over a decade. I worked with a couple of other people, and I've just been really blessed to have the opportunity to work with Plasencias. They have an abundance of tobacco. Every component in my cigar is grown by Nestor Plasencia. The wrapper, the binder, and the filler, which gives the cigar consistency and the quality of not just the construction of the flavor. I know exactly what farm the tobacco is from, the vintage year. It's very important when you're making a cigar to understand the tobacco. You can say your tobacco is from Esteli or Jalapa, but you don't know what farm it's from. And if you don't know what farm it's from, you can get different flavor from batch to batch, and that's not going to give you a consistent cigar that you need to succeed in this business.
Yeah. So what are your plans going forward? What's say the next year or so looking like for Vivalo Cigars?
Next year, just hitting the road, visiting accounts, meeting the consumers. I've been doing events a little different, not your traditional events where you bring in 100+ people, because that's great for the big guys because they have name notoriety. So what I've been doing with shops is we're doing like these little more intimate venues, 20, 30, 40 people. They buy into the event for whatever amount. They're going to get a couple of cigars. They're going to get a beverage of my choice, and I get to hang out. It's kind of like a mini herf, I guess.
And you are a big wine and various spirits guy, so if you buy into that, you're buying into something in terms of the liquor will be good. I would assume, top notch.
I'm very, very picky with my spirits.
Yes.
And I've even narrowed it down. I have a favorite whiskey for each of my cigars.
Because, by all means, tell us about that.
Because each size has different variation of flavor. I wouldn't drink a bourbon per se with a Lonsdale. The Lonsdale is a very elegant, classy, smooth, sophisticated cigar.
So you're thinking like Scotch with that, or
like a Speyside Scotch?
Speyside Scotch,
little
okay.
light buttery, that sea salt characteristic you can get with the Speyside. With the Robusto, I'm a big fan of Balvenie
with the Robusto.
Yep. So all these companies that I'm saying for Scotch wise, feel free to send me some bottles for
help you out with this pairing.
Yep.
Well, feel free to change his mind. Send him alternate bottles, right? Yeah.
And with the bigger ring gauge, because there's that spice and pepper, but it still has that sweetness from the jalapa, I'm a big fan of bourbon.
Yes.
I usually gravitate towards Eagle Rare 10-year. Last night we had the 17-year Eagle Rare, and we had the birthday bourbon by who was
Old
that
Forester birthday
Old
bourbon,
Forester birthday
2014. I am a big fan of that, and I think you are as well now.
That was good.
Yeah.
And I think that can probably go with the Bellicoso, even though doesn't have that pepper and spice like the bigger ring gauges. It's just a nice balance of the jalapa and Esteli.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Well, great. Thanks for taking a few minutes out to talk to us and say hi to our fans.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Thanks.